I'm in full pink. I've got blood all over me. There's glass everywhere. It's quite a scene if you ask me. I feel like I just look really dumb today. Okay. Honestly though, my hair's really shiny. I don't deserve good hair because I don't take care of myself. Hey guys, so for today, I'm going to do a story time, as you can tell by the title. I try not to film in good lighting because then I see all the imperfect, like I don't even, like what is that? I don't know. There's literally not a bump there, but like you can see something in the camera. I have no idea. My eyebrows are ratchet. We're not even gonna zoom in on that. I don't know what my hair is doing, but okay, so most of my stories growing up has Erica, my little sister, and Megan, my best friend. You know, we weren't the type of kids that got in trouble all the time or anything like that, but we've definitely had our fair share of bad things happening, and this being one of them. I think I was in my sophomore year of high school, so I want to say I was like 15. So dumb. Me, Erica, and Megan were playing this game that we called Man Tracker. Now, for those who don't know, there is a show called Man Tracker. I don't know if it's still on TV. This show consisted of two people that would pretty much, it was kind of like a tag type game, and like these two guys, they would kind of be like in like a forest, and they basically had to start at start and they had to make their way to the finish line. And it's like it's not like you can't see the finish line like where you start. It's like a big area and you have to make it there before the guy on his horse, the man tracker, got to them. So basically these two guys have to make it to the finish line before the man tracker gets them. So me, Erica, and Megan decided, well, let's have our own game of Man Tracker. Megan only lived like a block up from me, and we kind of just hung around like that area. My mom wasn't home, of course. We technically were not supposed to be playing like by my house since she wasn't home. Like we were supposed to be hanging out at Megan's house because her family was home. But instead we were playing at my house. I don't know where we started, but the finish line was pretty much my front door. My front door is one of those, like I have like the wooden door, but then like on the outside I have like that screen door, and we didn't have a screen in, we had glass, so you can see why this was already a bad idea. This round that went wrong, Megan was the man tracker, and me and Erica had to make it to my front door. This game went on for a little while, because it is really hard, like the area that we had to cover in order to make it to my front door. Like I said, I don't remember where we started, but I do remember we made it a big area. Erica pretty much made it to the front door before me. Now, technically we're supposed to do it together because we're partners, but I was like right behind her basically, so I was on my way too. Now, what went wrong was Megan didn't get Erica before Erica hit the front door. So now there's me, Megan, and the front door. Now, I'm at the point where, you know, I either just have to make a run for it and hope for the best that I make it to the door before Megan tags me, or I'm just gonna have to circle around somewhere else until eventually I make it back to the front door. This is where everything went wrong. I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna make a run for it, like I got this, like it'll be alright. And at the time, now growing up I've always been known for being clumsy and getting hurt all the time, but at this point in my life, I haven't had the amount of injuries that I've had now then, so I was feeling pretty confident. Like, you know, I was pretty skinny, I was pretty tiny, I was like, you know what, like, what can go wrong? Like, I can just book it, and like, I got this, like, we can win the game, it'll be great. It was not great. I'm running. Now, it's going great, but as soon as I hit the step, she tagged me. But at that point, I was running so fast, I couldn't stop myself. So, you know how like when, like you're running towards something, like a wall or something, you know, kind of like, even though you're not, you know you're gonna stop before you hit the wall, but you put your hands in front of you just to kind of, you know, in case. Well, I did one of those, except the thing is, I didn't just touch it, like I full force arms went right through the window and I broke it. This felt like it happened in slow motion because I had so many thoughts that happened in this moment. When my hands went through the door, my initial thought was, oh my god, my mom is gonna kill me. I just broke the front door. Like half of it is like the door and then the other half is basically glass, and I broke that. My hands went through it and I thought my mom was going to kill me. So immediately I'm like, oh my god. And then like as I'm looking at all the broken glass on the ground, I see like drips of blood and I'm like, and I look at myself and I'm covered in blood. Like I don't even know where it's coming from. So I've got like blood coming from my wrist, I've got blood coming from my chest, my knees, like everywhere, like literally everywhere. And I didn't know exactly if it was coming from one spot or if it was just all over me. I had no idea. Now, something I forgot to mention in the beginning. We decided when we were playing Man Tracker that we were gonna have like our own team colors, and we were kind of gonna be like, we were gonna have like our own team colors. Like, even though me and Erica, we were technically like playing together and we had to make it to the finish line, we wore different colors. So the thing is, it's so bad. The way I was dressed. Okay, let me give you like a full image of what I was wearing. I'm wearing a pink shirt, I'm wearing skinny jeans, I'm wearing pink high-top Converse. Like, they were new, this is the first time I wore them. There's blood on them. I'm wearing my pink high-top Converse. Then just picture this for everybody else because we're all dressed very similar, just in our own colors. We all had bandanas, like we had bandanas like on our heads, tied around our wrists, like anywhere. My leg, like anywhere you could put a bandana, that's where it was, and we all wore our own colors. So I'm in full pink, I've got blood all over me, there's glass everywhere. It's quite a scene if you ask me. Immediately Megan's like, we gotta go to my house. We start running up the street. Now Megan's house is not that far, but she lives uphill from my house. My house, like my street, was literally downhill. Like I lived on that slant, so I had to go up the hill and then turn left to go to her house. And I'm like kind of half crying, like, oh my god, like I broke the door, I'm bleeding, like what's gonna happen, like my mom's gonna kill me, she's not home. I'm like, as we're running, I'm leaving a trail of blood from my house to her house. Like it looks like a murder scene. Like it's bad. The three of us, we actually make it to Megan's house. We go inside. Her mom is like cleaning me up and, you know, bandaging me in places. I hurt myself in the chest, my wrist, my hand, my upper arm, and my knee. I hurt my knee because I had ripped skinny jeans on, and when the glass like came back, that's why like I cut myself in like weird places. Even though like my hands went through, the glass came back and like shattered on me, so that's why like it ended up on my knee and like my arm, and like thank god it didn't go up like in my eyes or something, or like my face like that. But when my mom, well basically my mom, when Megan's mom was like cleaning me up, she's, you know, wiping everything down, and it turns out like everything was pretty, like everything was cut that I just mentioned, but the only problem was my wrist was the worst part because it was open, and it's like, it was open to the point where like it would just keep bleeding if I didn't close it. So she had to like take bandages and like close it up. And then she said that we need to call my mom because it was bad. It wasn't like I was gonna die bad, but it was like I probably need stitches bad. So had to call my mom. I refused to call my mom because I was already crying. Well, at that point, now Erica's crying because she's like, great, we're gonna be grounded. The front door is broken. We weren't supposed to be there. And Megan's like half crying too. Like the three of us, like we're a mess. We're like, oh my god, like we're gonna be in so much trouble. Like, oh my god. She was at the doctor's while all this is happening. So we ended up having to call my dad. I think he was at work, and after we got a hold of him, he got a hold of my mom because she saw all the missed calls. And once she talked to him, she rushed home. She didn't even get a chance to do whatever she was doing at the doctor's, and she came home. And the first thing she did was, she didn't know that we were at Megan's house, so she went straight to home. And when she got there, she saw all the blood. Like, she's literally saw the whole trail of blood up to Megan's house. She saw all the glass that was there. Like, she saw the entire murder scene. My mom's the type of mom that, like, she panics. So she's freaking out. She makes it to the door. The three of us were like all crying. She ended up picking me up and we had to go to the ER. And imagine I'm still in this pink outfit. I'm sitting, you know, like I check in, they have me sit down, I'm in the waiting room, okay? Now at this point, like, I had already bled through most of like the bandages that were on my body, so now I've just got blood on me. I'm wearing all pink, like it's a mess. They check out like the thing that happened. They asked me like, well, like, what'd you do? And I was like, oh, like I ran into glass. Or like, you ran into glass? And like I had to explain this to like 5 different people that like, cause like first I had like the person like checks your weight and like all that stuff, so that person asked, and then like the person at the front desk asked, and then we had like my nurse that like literally everybody kept asking me, and all like I could say was I ran into my front door. Like that's what happened. I don't know what to tell you. The nurse brings me back. They have me sit like on this table, and she takes off like the bandages that Megan's mom had put on to like close up my wrist, and they clean me up, and they're like, well, the way that it looks is that it's a straight line, so we technically don't need to stitch you up, we can just kind of glue it, because if it was like jagged then they would have to bring in the stitches, so they're like, we're just gonna glue it. I'm like, oh perfect. Like I was terrified. I've never had stitches. I wasn't sure how much that was gonna hurt, and to be honest, I was in not a lot of pain, but I was kind of in pain because like I'm bleeding from everywhere. She cleans me up. She's like, I'm gonna go get the doctor. Well, at this point she has it open, so now I'm gushing blood again, and it's not only going all over me again, but it's going all over the like the table I'm sitting on, the floor, and I'm like this is great. Like I need a doctor. I'm bleeding. Somebody just close me up. The amount of things I heard after I had to tell everybody I ran into a door. But yeah, he took care of me. He glued up my wrist. 9 years later, this is what it looks like. Can we, yep, that's the scar. So it actually looks pretty good, because it was pretty bad at one point. I have a scar. I don't know if this will show up on camera, but ignore the ink. I don't know where that came from. But there's a scar. It's very faint there. I picked glass out of there like a week after the fact. So that was quite the adventure. It looked like a crime scene. After all that, we go home, and turns out my mom was not mad that we broke the front door. That was how I ran into my front door. If you guys enjoyed this story time, give it a thumbs up. I've got plenty more if you're looking for any. Especially injuries. I've got 1,000, so let me know in the comments if you want more story times. I don't know, do you guys like story times? When I started this channel, that was my original plan, was to be like a story time channel, but I also hate editing story times, which is why I didn't do it as much as I thought I was gonna do it, but I do actually like filming them, so let me know in the comments if you want more story times. Did I say I hope you enjoyed this video? I don't know, but if you did, give it a thumbs up. Stay subscribed if you want more content from me. I upload every Monday, so yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next Monday. Bye.